Disturbing Behavior is a 1998 film. This is another in the parade of movies that kind of came out in the late 90s and I guess sort of early 2000s as well. All movies that were trying to emulate the success of Scream, where, they had to have this scary movie that was filled with the young, hot, up and coming cast and had to be this hip kind of thing with all the hip young music. Buy the soundtrack album available now, stuff like that. I guess we saw a lot of those. And this is among them. Maybe a little bit more on the forgettable side, but a decent enough movie. And I'll say for sure, I mean, it has a pretty impressive cast too. We have James Marsden in the film, Katie Holmes, Nick Stahl, and in a supporting role, William Sadler also in it. You kind of have to blend the young kids with the seasoned actor. And actually, a very early performance by Catherine Isabel. So already at a young age, she's getting that horror movie resume going. So that's pretty cool. This one, I mean, it's trying to do the young and hip thing, and it's focused on high school students and some strange occurrences that you know give these young characters the spooks, I guess, and starts this crazy thriller horror adventure kind of thing. It's The main character is Steve. He's the new kid in school. That's James Marsden, and he's getting over this family tragedy of his brother had committed suicide, and the family just wants to move on, but he's having a hard time of it. He feels he can't like really reach out to his family or anything like that. And he feels like kind of this outsider, and he does feel that way when he gets into the school. But it just so happens that he kind of makes friends with these other outsiders. Gavin, kind of the burnout, paranoid, weird kid, played by Nick Stahl, and the wonderful and lovely Katie Holmes, playing kind of, I guess, against type from the Dawson's Creek role, where she's like kind of this, I don't know, punkish girl, a girl named Rachel, playing that character. They all kind of develop this friendship as kind of the outsiders, and there's this whole kind of thing where uh, Gavin introduces Steve to the whole school and gives this whole kind of spiel about the different cliques, and it's kind of this amusing scene where he goes, these are the motorheads, the jocks, and he points out this very strange group of kids, the Blue Ribbon Kids, who are these, they're the star athletes, they're the A+ students, they're the goody preppy kids. They're almost too perfect. So what's going on with these weird creepy kids? And that's what we kind of learn going to the movie. I don't really know how much I should spoil. I mean, it's a pretty old movie, and I don't know if like part of what we reveal is like just generally part of the plot or whatever. But I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of like sort of like vibes of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, vibes of, I don't know, the Stepford Wives, I guess a little bit. But something's going on with this doctor who works with the school, works with the parents. This is Bruce Greenwood playing the doctor. He's promising these great things for the kids, and the parents are pretty enthusiastic about it. They want their kids to succeed and be happy and uh, high achieving kind of kids, and that's what they want. They want their kids to be these perfect little machines, basically. So something's going on there. Some kind of, oh, I don't know, experimentation, I guess you could say, is going on with them. Maybe even mind control. But as we learn throughout the film, actually quite early on in the film, it's not quite perfect. It kind of responds to certain areas of the brain in certain dangerous ways, where if there's I don't know, a certain amount of dopamine that hits the brain, they'll react ultra violently. I think one of the characters says one of these kids gets a hard on and they, you know, act violently, something like that. So it's not quite a perfect technique. So uh, violently they do act, and it becomes this creepy, cultish kind of thing where, you know, who could be next? And could it be Steve being next? Could it be Rachel being next? Could it be Gavin being next? Or are they going to track these kids down and make them join their ribbon club and become one of the perfect kids? And there's all that there, and kind of working with them to solve this mystery is this janitor who's kind of mentally off, kind of like, I don't know, like a Lenny character from Of Mice and Men. That's William Sadler, and I don't know, like it's a really fascinating performance. Actually, he's kind of doing this, I don't know, Burgess Meredith impression almost. Like it's so strange, but so good. In fact, I mean, I'd say like for any reason to watch the movie, it might actually be him and his performance, and an extremely close second, Katie Holmes, because of course, I mean, this is 1998. Katie Holmes, if you were, you know, a young kid at the time, this is her at her most irresistible, and you know that's just fact. I mean, 1998 Katie Holmes is just, you know, the most alluring thing, much more alluring, you know, than 2006 Tom Cruise jumping on the couch Katie Holmes, but that's another story. She's good. James Marsden is good. Nick Stahl is good. They're all good. It's a very strong cast. Uh, it tries for different things, different themes in the movie, like, you know, with parents trying to control their kids and trying to make them into these perfect things, which is just this kind of impossible thing for them to demand, right? And you know, kind of getting a little bit into the kind of terrible anguish of youth, and wanting to live up to these impossible expectations, and in a lot of ways being forced to do so, and being forced to be just something you're not. So I mean, you can take those kinds of themes from it, and you know, peer into it as deep as you may like. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of this, you know, screamish type of thriller. But I mean, I think it does a good job. I think it's a strong film. Has some good creepy moments here and there. Not bad. If I do have a criticism, it's just that it kind of like it all kind of amounts to just sort of this, I don't know, anticlimactic kind of ending where you just kind of think, well, that's it. This really all that happens. They kind of leave some loose ends. In fact, a lot of loose ends, to be honest, where you almost kind of think, well, are they like planning for a sequel or something like that, which never came. But who knows? Who knows what the story is there? I mean, from what I understand, this was kind of like a final product of studio meddling, where the original cut from director David Nutter, it was longer, more in depth, had a different ending. And for those who had seen it in test screenings, apparently the better version of the film. How significantly, I don't know, but a superior version, it seems to be. And probably lost forever, though I think there's some, you know, deleted scenes here and there that you can look up for sure. But it's a decent movie as is. Kind of delivers exactly what you kind of expect from this particular era with this particular kind of cast. Uh, you know, banging out all those tunes as well. There's even a there's a music video with Katie Holmes and James Marsden in it, like made for the movie, and all that. So they kind of knew their target audience and kind of what they were going for, and what it is. I mean, it's not too bad. Nothing quite, you know, reach the heights of Scream, though many tried, and this is a noble enough effort. So if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth checking out. If you haven't seen it in a while, worth revisiting. just to kind of, I don't know, like nostalgically look back on this cast and think about all the great things that would be ahead of them. Really, when you think about it, I mean, these they're just babies in this movie, so that's kind of cool to see, and it's that irresistible '90s nostalgia. What can I say? So that's my review. Disturbing Behavior. That's another 31 Days of Horror review. We're doing horror movie reviews all throughout October 2021. Stay tuned for more. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'll see you later, and stay scared.